Hello, friends, we're back again. And this one's going to be a doozy, but man, am I excited for this. Welcome to So Bad It's Good. I'm here with a wonderful pal. I've got Josh Robinson. Josh, how are you doing?
I am stoked to be here and stoked to talk about nonsense, really.
There's been nothing but nonsense between our conversations, our ideas to put the show together. You and I both come from a very similar mindset when it comes to wrestling, that the stuff that's the worst is probably the best, and whatever gets people talking about it makes it even better.
1000%. Like, I know I can probably speak for you to say, I love good wrestling. Give it to me any day. But I'll take a silly segment or a silly, horrible match over a great match probably nearly any time because I just like to laugh.
Buddy, let the post shows talk about the good wrestling.
Yeah.
We
don't need that. We're not saying we're experts in that stuff. But in this,
let us talk about the shit. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we put our heads together and we've been thinking about it. And we decided that because it's February, we're going to do the worst of the best of the worst of wrestling's weddings. And today, oh baby, why don't you tell us what we're going to do?
Well, I think you probably think of many things when you think about wrestling weddings. People are probably like Kane and Lita, Kane and Edge. And sure, they're great, but there's only one that can be first. And I think it was my idea. Joe, but I will definitely take credit for it. We're going to do Al Wilson and Dawn Marie because love comes in many different shapes, sizes, and ages. And age is purely a number. And I just want to celebrate great love,
Is age really a number, or is it like when you get to a certain age and your hair's all white and you're being stripped down to your skivvies in the middle of the ring in front of like 20,000 people and they got to shove something down your pants, that maybe you start to wonder if age is a little more than just a number?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't really think of an argument against that. However, I will say that good for them. Good for Dawn Marie. She definitely was in this for the right reasons, as we know. Great friend, great relationship, by the way, with his daughter, which is really important. You've got to build family relationships.
Oh, yeah.
And Dawn and Tori, I mean, man, what a relationship that was.
They absolutely couldn't keep their hands off each other, I would say.
Yeah. From the time that they were Dawn and Al first met to the time that he was no longer a part of SmackDown, I guess you could say. And they certainly went beyond. Their relationship went even further than our, I guess you could say.
It's touching in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you know that this entire story of the wedding, not the lead in, not all the lead up, but the wedding itself, because that's really that's the meat and potatoes. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. Did you know that the whole basis of this wedding was Dawn Marie wanting to do it completely naked?
Now, as everyone knows that knows me, there's nothing I love more than naked women. So you could imagine me just thinking and going back and watching this and watching this as a very, very definitely a straight little boy, that I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait until Dawn Marie takes off all her clothes. I will say it's one of a kind. Have you ever been to a wedding where they're completely in their underwear?
So it's funny you should ask, because there was this. No, I've never been to a wedding like that. And if it's going to happen anywhere, it'll happen in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is where they did this wedding. This was the perfect place. Where else in the United States would you do a wedding wherein nobody wears clothing? Where else could you get away with this? Vegas, maybe? That's tacky.
I mean, yeah, but that's of course, that's where your brain goes to. WWE like to do very different things, especially SmackDown at that time. So, we're really in the thick of it with this wedding, and to talk about this is kind of, take it with a grain of salt. But I mean, I love seeing love. That's what I love in wrestling, is just seeing love. Wrestling is a soap opera. Am I right?
Oh yeah. Also, so you and I were talking off the air, and we were kind of prepping and getting ready for this, and we said, man, they only had like the one match, right? Tori and Dawn Marie? They must have had just one match. Oh my God. We found out that they had 8 matches, single, one-on-one, televised, or pay-per-view matches. 8 matches between 02 and 05. What happened?
I pointed out that I didn't even know Dawn Marie was with WWE for that long.
Right.
So, and I just, good for her. But 8 matches they had. And by the way, I pointed out to Joel, I was like, did they do the house show loops? Yes, they did house show loops. They did a lot of house show loops, a lot of bra and panty matches. I mean, maybe Tori, to a certain degree, was a wrestler. Probably not at that time. She probably got better as she got a little further in her career. She was there until like 08, maybe 07-ish. But Dawn Marie was not a wrestler. Like, she come from ECW, obviously, but she was not, she was taking bumps, sure. But I mean, she was not chain wrestling and doing all these technical masterpieces with Dean Malenko or anyone like that. So,
well, we don't. Hold on. We know from the TV matches that wasn't the case.
It's true.
We weren't at the house show matches. For all we know, they were tearing it down and really having these catch-as-catch-can matches, wherein the catch is to take off the opponent's clothing, and the can is, will they strip the other one before the other one gets to them? I think that alone proves that they could have had absolutely rip-roaring matches, but we don't know because they're not on.
I mean, the world wasn't ready for Dawn Marie. Maybe Dawn Marie, was ready for the evolution of women in the business, but the world wasn't ready for Dawn. A trailblazer, I guess you could say.
I'll tell you who was ready for this wedding. And that's Cole and Taz. Now, Dawn Marie comes out towards the beginning of the SmackDown episode where they're doing this wedding. And and Dawn Marie is just like, don't I look beautiful? I've always wanted to be a bride. Is everything, this is a beautiful dress. And she tells the crowd not to get used to it because she's going to take off the dress and marry Al Wilson in the nude. To which Michael Cole and Taz are loving it.
Especially Taz. Taz is going crazy. I mean, Cole is loving it too, though.
That was shocking enough. I was like, Cole's usually like straight man in this thing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, not the case.
Yeah. I recall, and you are the facts man here. You are the one that knows more than I do, but wasn't SmackDown always a PG show?
If it wasn't at that point, then I don't know what it was.
Because, I don't know. Not that they were naked, but they were suggesting that they were going to get naked.
They even had Stephanie McMahon go to the back and just be like, and she was the GM at the time on screen and being like, really happy for you. This is really nice, but maybe don't get naked. Yeah. And Dawn Marie is just like, haha, too bad. Good joke. I'm going to go get naked. We were just kind of stuck. Even Billy Kidman and Tori Wilson were having jokes about it.
The aforementioned Tori Wilson, who had some great matches with Dawn Marie. Royal Rumble 03. Go and have a look.
And also didn't get involved in the wedding. Did nothing. This wedding went off without a hitch. This is a rarity in wrestling. Everything happened.
There was Tory chants. There was Tory chants from the crowd, and there was an objection, but it wasn't the objection we would think. It was from Dawn because she wanted to take her clothes off. Yeah, and Al to get his clothes off as well. I guess.
So later on in the night, we get to the wedding, and Dawn Marie walks out, and she's got her wedding dress. First, they introduce Al, and Al Wilson's wearing his greatest 70s wedding attire of a nice tan suit, and he's got a kind of a floral print going on with the shirt. I don't know what I would rank that in terms of style for 2003. What did you think? Did you have any thoughts?
He looked like he was out of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Like he genuinely, he was, it looked good. Good? Is interesting? Bad, tacky. I don't know. Tacky. I don't know what the word would be. But for Al, did that look good for him? I don't remember what his clothing or his attire was in the few months that he was on television. I don't remember it being that. But
I think he wore more like plain colored suits, but he would have a t-shirt on. That was a thing. That was a thing in the early 2000s. I remember Ric Flair, when he would come to TV, he would be wearing a nice suit and then like a turtleneck or a t-shirt or whatever. It wouldn't be a suit and a shirt. And also, you sure as hell, this was a Vince McMahon thing in the early 2000s, where you would take the collar and you'd fold it over the collar of your jacket, your shirt collar over your collar of your jacket. You don't do that. That's a 70s gimmick. That's bad looking. It hurts.
It's a look. I'll give it that. We did mention in our off chat that we're trying to figure out who the kind of the head writer was of the time of SmackDown at this time, and we discovered that it was most likely Paul Heyman, which makes sense. Dawn Marie, ECW, and this is Heyman likes to do pretty ridiculous things for better and for worse. And whatever you think about this is fine, but it's a very Paul Heyman drawn out thing. So it's not like just one week affair. Like this is a pretty drawn out story, to be completely honest. They had a lot of time to build Al and Tori and Dawn. If we're looking at and analyzing it from a wrestling perspective, which is hard.
I don't know if we could do that.
Heyman did that. So yes, Paul Heyman was most likely the lead writer at this time for SmackDown. So
I think we surmised that this was Paul Heyman's last hurrah, because he was replaced in 2003, which is when this wedding was happening, by Bruce Pritchard. And by everywhere we look, Paul was out as SmackDown writer in, I think it was February or early first quarter 2003. And this was in January, going into the Rumble, was when this wedding was happening. So like, Heyman was had his ECW star in Dawn Marie that he's very comfortable with and was able to work with and do everything with. And she did everything that she had to do to get the story over. And then Bruce came over and he was like, hey pal, we're done here. You can
hit the road.
Bricks. Yeah. So Heyman's there and Dawn Marie comes out after Al Wilson comes out. Al Wilson, by the way, has an earring for some reason. Don't know where that came from. Don't know if that was always there. Maybe he's trying to look cool again. Who knows? And then Dawn Marie comes out. She's got her hair done up and she's done very beautifully in her nice gown. And then she gets up and she strips it off.
As you would.
I couldn't see any other way to do a wrestling wedding.
And she strips it off first, and crowd's all like, yeah, woohoo, you know. It's early 2000s, so you could imagine, yes, the business has changed, whatever.
And Al is being a very supportive partner by helping her out of the stress.
Yes, he is, which is a gentleman. A gentleman, you could call him, I guess.
To the very end.
Old-fashioned, maybe for reasons. But yeah, she gets her gown off first, and she is wearing white underneath, which, you know, matches the theme, teams with the theme. Yep. So that's a good thing. And then, of course, before we can go on, she would also like Al to also remove his clothing. And I'll let you take it from here, Joel, because you seem to have opinions on things.
I don't know why you'd want me to do that. So anyway, Al Wilson is stripping down. He takes off the jacket and then he takes off the shirt. And he's got a little tuft of hair up here and up in the chestal region. He's very, very manly man. He's got a build for a man of his age. Takes his pants off. Okay. Leaves his shoes on, leaves his socks on, because that's what you do. So he packing. But I'm pretty sure what he's packing is like something artificially added to his briefs region.
You are adamant that there's something in there.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes, I am.
We don't know. I've never seen Al Wilson's area. We don't know that he's not just.
He could be. He absolutely.
And good for him if he is. Yeah. Dawn Marie's got to love him for a reason.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I mean, hey, that's what killed him, right?
Mm-hmm. The very next week,
just wrote him into oblivion.
Oh my God. When you actually think about this, and what I rewatched this segment literally an hour ago. because I wanted it fresh in my brain for this show. And just the visual of the ending of this wedding, because yes, they do strip off all their clothes and then they say, I do, you know, all the rings, all the normal wedding stuff. And then they proceed to, well, Dawn mounts Al in the ring.
Hold on. Before we get there, they do their vows.
Yeah.
They're very nice. Al's very excited and he's saying, you know, I'll do whatever for you. He's very excited, very gung-ho to be married to this beautiful, young, vivacious woman. And Dawn Marie also repeats the words as given to her by the man who is, I don't know if he's a priest. Is he a priest? I don't know what he's considered.
I guess so.
The guy and the officiant. And then they wear the rings and they're happy and they have,
How can I put this? They want to celebrate.
They do. They also have a leopard print carpet on the ring, like on the floor. What's going on there?
See, that's where I draw the line. This is where it becomes a tacky wedding to me.
Right? What else could you have put down? What kind of carpet would you put down in that?
Not leopard print.
I mean, the canvas is dirty enough, but like, what else could you do?
Even a red carpet.
That'd be nice. A nice shag.
But leopard print, come on.
It's very tacky. You wouldn't do that. That's cheap. Not a normal thing. It's very cheap. $1 billion company, and this is what they do. They give you a leopard print. What kind of deal is WWE running here that this is what they offer you? True.
Well, it's Stephanie's show. What's Stephanie doing? I guess it's not the A show, though. At the time, it wasn't looked at as the A show so they get the tacky leopard print and Raw get the satin and the beautiful shags and stuff like that. Speaking of shags, that's basically what happens.
Oh my God. Wedding. That's right. So they're definitely just like, they humping a little bit in the ring and they're like, no, let's go to the back. Let's go. And then they get through the ring ropes and they're just at each other. And then we crash to break and that's the segment. That's the wedding.
All while taking place, Tori's chants just happening throughout this wedding, which is interesting.
Every father's dream is to be surrounded by chants of his daughter as he is trying to get physically intimate with his new lover, new wife, as it were. Yeah, that's pretty much what I expect.
Okay, so in the scheme of things, we're going to talk about a lot of weddings and stuff over the next few weeks, but does this wedding, in all honesty, rank very high for you in terms of like, I guess not memorable is the word, because we definitely will never forget this wedding.
Nope.
But I guess in terms of like the greatest weddings of all time in the history of wrestling, I don't know if this is really one that people go, this one. Although I wouldn't put it past them.
That's true. That's the thing. This isn't the Stephanie Triple H wedding that we do talk about. This is one of those weddings where when people remind you of it, they say, "Oh, right, they got naked for that."
Mm-hmm. That's me.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what sticks with you. Other than that, I wouldn't call this the most memorable wedding, but I'd call this something that I will never forget in the history of wrestling weddings.
Are we going to become the Dave Meltzer of wrestling weddings? Are we going to analyze them and give them stars? And if Albuquerque, New Mexico may get a 5-star wedding here, I'm not sure. I'd
give this 4.25 stars. It would be 5 in the Tucson Dome, but not the Albuquerque.
Yes. Dome. Yeah, you are right. I would probably go at maybe a 3.75 star. I think for me, I think a little lower. I don't know. It wasn't quite there yet. Maybe you put certain people in it and it might go a little higher, but Dawn and Al Wilson, I don't know.
Well, we have plenty more weddings to talk about, Josh, and we're going to get to them throughout the entire month of February. And you know what? Probably longer, because let's face it, there have been way more wrestling weddings than I thought there would be. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. And I'm excited for all the other ridiculous So Bad It's Good content. If you have So Bad It's Good content that you want us to talk about, drop a comment here and also drop a thumbs up here at Fightful Overbooked. Josh, where can the people find you on the internet?
You find me pretty much everywhere at @JoshRobinson_00. I'm a good time. Come and have a laugh.
He's a great time. I'm at Joel Pearl, JoelPearl. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.